Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Viking Cruises has announced plans for a new cruise ship that will offer exclusive journeys along India's Brahmaputra River. This marks the first time the company will operate river cruises in India. Currently under construction and set to launch in late 2027, the Viking Brahmaputra will sail between Guwahati and Nimati Ghat in Assam as part of a new 15-day itinerary called Wonders of India. The itinerary combines river cruising with a fully guided land program, including overnight stays in Delhi, Agra, and Jaipur. Guests can look forward to 13 excursions, covering highlights such as the Taj Mahal, Old Delhi, Jaipur's Palace of Winds, and the famous Golden Triangle. While navigating the Brahmaputra, passengers will visit Guwahati's temples, explore riverside villages, spot amazing animals such as rhinos and buffalo in Kaziranga National Park, and experience the unique culture of Majuli, one of the world's largest river islands. Viking chairman and CEO Torstein Hagen said that India's rich heritage, deep cultural traditions, and natural wonders have fascinated explorers for centuries. Our guests have loved visiting Indian ports on our ocean voyages, and we're excited to offer a new way for travelers to explore this incredible country in true Viking comfort. So let me get this straight. Viking Cruises wants to take you on a luxury journey through India's Brahmaputra River. Sounds exotic, right? Well, get ready to sip champagne while floating past mountains of plastic waste, raw sewage, and maybe even the occasional corpse drifting by. Nothing says five-star getaway like coliform bacteria levels so high they'd make your stomach churn just by looking at the water. This isn't just a cruise. It's a full-on adventure into India's so-called cow belt. You know, that northern region famous for its religious extremism, ethnic tensions, and poverty levels that will leave you questioning why you paid thousands of dollars to visit. Beggars and scammers poking and prodding you around every street corner. Don't worry though, your itinerary includes overnight stays in places like Delhi, where the air pollution alone will give your lungs a souvenir they'll never forget. Of course, you'll get to see the Taj Mahal, a breathtaking monument, if you can see it through the thick smog. In Jaipur, you can admire the Palace of Winds while dodging aggressive street hawkers, and maybe the occasional stray cow blocking traffic. And in Old Delhi? Well, let's just say the word hygiene doesn't really translate there. Ever heard of the term Delhi belly? It's when you consume food from street vendors and even proper restaurants, and start to feel the tides of regret turning inside your stomach. Back on the river, the ship promises stunning views of riverside villages. But let's be honest, these villages are often riddled with problems such as extreme sectarianism, violence, open defecation, untreated waste, and crushing poverty. And if you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of a rhino in Kaziranga National Park, assuming the poachers didn't get there first. Viking's CEO calls this a way to experience India's rich heritage in Viking comfort. But here's the thing. No amount of Scandinavian minimalism will stop the stench of untreated sewage or the risk of waterborne diseases from creeping in. But maybe that's what the CEO was trying to hint. More of a safari instead of a cruise, where you can see the public defecators, the braggers, the boasters, and the WhatsAppers in their natural habitat. So yeah, if sipping cocktails while floating down one of the most polluted rivers on Earth sounds like your dream vacation, this one's for you. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of these problems, starting with the extremely polluted rivers, which are ironically considered holy by the Indians. If they consider them holy and treat them like that, then how do they treat things they consider normal or unholy? A report published this February by the Central Pollution Control Board found that the Ganges River had fecal coliform bacteria levels that far exceeded the 2,500 units per 100 millimeter safe level. In fact, it was multiple times higher than that. After the religious bathing event, it was found to be over 11,000 units per 100 millimeters. That's over 5 times the safe limit. You know what fecal coliform bacteria is, right? It's bacteria found in shit, dung, waste, defecation, excrement, poop, whatever you want to call it. It's disgusting. It's revolting. But it's a very real problem. And the worst part, the fact that hundreds of millions of Indians bathe, swim, drink, and clean their clothes in these rivers. They claim that it's part of their religious festival called the Kumbh Mela. If my religion dictated that I bathe and drink in brown rivers filled with excrement and waste, then I just leave that religion. Now, even if we ignore all of that shit in the rivers, we still have the problem of the extraordinary amount of litter and pollution that plagues the rivers. Here's a few stats. According to 2022 PIB reports, 46% of India's rivers were classified as polluted. Maharashtra had the highest number of polluted rivers out of all the states. Over 60% of untreated sewage is released into rivers daily. Microplastics are found everywhere, and rivers with fibers being the most prevalent form and posing risks to aquatic life through ingestion. Major rivers like Ganga, Krishan, Kaveri, and Sabarmati are significant sources of wastewater. The Meghna-Brahmaputra-Ganges river system is estimated to discharge around 73,000 tons of plastic waste annually into the Bay of Bengal. And there's also lots of non-plastic waste, such as glass, paper, cardboard, and fabrics. So to all those people who are thinking of actually going on this cruise, just keep in mind the incredible sightseeing opportunities of mountains of floating litter, dead bodies, flowing excrement, flooding sewage, and people bathing and drinking from the very same waters. On to the inland part of the cruise, where you disembark and visit the inland cow belt of India. Hundreds of thousands of beggars reside in Uttar Pradesh alone, and especially in the urban city areas, which the tourists would certainly visit. They'll be bombarded with rude stall owners trying to sell cheap trinkets for 50 times the original price. And when they refuse, they will say, "Hey bro, why are you being racist? Just buy my shit." Then beggars will swarm them like the kids from Oliver Twist, demanding rupees and candy. After escaping the chaotic marketplace, they'll be bombarded with loud honking, civic nonsense, people walking and bumping into each other without care, cows grazing by, potholes everywhere, heavy smog and pollution that clouds the entire skyline, and the food vendors waving their hand at you to come over and try their curry, which will most certainly give you the shits. And the thing is, the tours must be limited to these chaotic cities because going outside to the rural areas are extremely dangerous for foreigners. The uneducated farmers are the ones who are extremist Hindus and would lynch you simply for insulting a cow. We've all seen the news. The things they do to tourists, especially the females, are despicable. I won't sugarcoat it: physical and sexual assaults, rapes, general violence, and robbery. For a Hindu nation, a religion of peace and enlightenment, this is absolutely hypocritical and just speaks volumes about the mindset of these people. Honestly, I implore and warn everyone to not visit India. It's still a sectarian, divided, aggressive nation full of religious extremists and nationalists, scammers, beggars, and downright rude people who lack any form of civic sense or manners. It truly is a shame because the natural landscape of India is some of the most beautiful in the world. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.